Welcome to Unbiased.
Welcome to Unbiased. I'm your humble host, Will. Back at you with another video. And before I get into this video, please like and share and subscribe. I'm a new platform. I'm trying to grow. And let's get right to the video. This video is about nines and tens, of people dating nines and tens on both sides of the gender. And I'm gonna start off with men. Men dating a 9 or 10 for a woman is pretty obvious. If the good thing about it is he go out anywhere to his family, meet his family, family gatherings, or just outside. Period, friends, family, you know, strangers. They gonna look at the woman that he's with, and they gonna be like, she's drop dead gorgeous or whatever. And the family gonna be like, how did you get her? Some might say that, how you get her? She's a beautiful woman. How you be able to do that? And this, they usually gives a guy you know, that type of swag and that type of, you know, impression that he did well. All right, so the bad side of it, what if she's self-centered? What if she's selfish? Or um, what if she thinks she's better than you? You know, what if those things happen? Or what if she takes your money and she's high maintenance? Because right now, and the reason I say those bad things, because it might not happen. It might be she's all around woman, and those are the ones that I usually shoot for. That she's all around, she's down to earth. But these, I'm doing air quotations. These modern day baddies, they are high maintenance. They do get these raptor claws. They're very expensive. They get long hairdos, these different hairdos. They're very expensive, and they do get um, high expensive clothes. That might be the downside. And then, some women say guys do be insecure when they be with those type of women. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, you know. So that's how I look at it for the men's side. And, for me personally, I'm gonna get this out of the way. For me personally, I usually don't go for high maintenance baddies. I usually go for women, the women that I dated in the past that that I dated in the past, those women are, they were down to earth. They were very good looking women. They didn't require a whole lot of stuff. If I feel like if you require, a whole lot of makeup, you getting your hair did all the time, you're not really a 9 or a 10, not naturally. And the women I've been with, that was naturally beautiful. That, like I said, that's usually what I go for because they're down to earth. They don't require a lot. And most of the time, I ain't gonna say most of the time, all the time that the women I dated, they get their own hair did. They get their own nails did. And when I come in their life, I try to take that burden off of them. I try to take that burden off of them so they don't have to worry about it. And I set the tone on that because I push the issue. I go to the whatever salon they go to, I beat them to it. I beat them to it and go on, throw the beautician that type of money to her and tell her, hey, when she come in, she want this, it's already paid for. Just go and tell her it's already paid for. She ain't got to worry about it. And the women, that I dated, they respected that out of me. And I think guys should do that. They should do that for their old lady. So that's just me. Now, we have another side of this that a lot of people don't talk about for our social media is that what if a woman, talks to a guy that's a 9 or a 10 and he get more attention than her? The down part of it. Well, I ain't gonna do the down part. I'm gonna do the good part for it first. The good part is the same as the male side. If he's, a 9 or 10, she shows him all to the family. The people that she's around, her family and friends, they're gonna be looking like he's a nice looking guy. How you get him too? Some women, will tell that lady, hey, you got a good looking dude. How you get him? Do he got a brother? Cuz, I seen women do that, and it's funny, but they do that. And like I said, now we get to the bad side of it. The bad side of it is, what if the guy get more attention than her? How she's gonna deal with that when they go out and a lot of women, flocking to him or trying to flock at him, or they just looking at him, and how she's going to deal with it. And one example of that, I really got two examples, but I'm gonna go with the first one that it came out my head was Stephen Curry's wife. You know, she's, in my opinion, she's a nice looking woman too, but she been on other people's platforms and she's been, you know, kind of insecure about, how he get a lot of attention. He's this big famous basketball player, and the guys from the ministry, we look at him as the greatest shooter of all time. And he does get a lot of attention from women. And how she deals with it, she felt like she gets no attention at all. And I think probably why she feel that way because guys respect Steph Curry so much that they know he's a genuine good guy. He's a family guy, and he does what he does for his wife. He shows her a lot of attention. And granted, she's a nice looking woman too, but she feels like she don't get any attention at all, and she's, she get in her feelings about it, and she really want attention from other guys, and I think she shouldn't be doing all that, but that comes with it when she's dating a high profile guy. Another one another example that I am thinking of that happened years ago was even Evan Longoria. She used to go with Tony Parker. He used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. He was the point guard, and he got a lot of way more attention than she did when they dated. And I think they was married at one point, but it didn't last because she couldn't handle the attention. Now, same thing with Stephen Curry wife. Evan Longoria was a very nice looking woman. I think she's a Spanish woman, but she was a nice looking woman, but she couldn't handle the attention with Tony Parker, and I guess it drove a wedge in their relationship, and they ended up breaking up. But we do have two examples that are good, like Savannah James with LeBron James' wife. You don't never hear that lady complain at all about LeBron getting all the attention when they go somewhere. And Savannah James is a beautiful woman, in my honest opinion. She doesn't complain at all. We never heard her give any type of gripe about that. And I got another one. Like I did with the second example for the bad side. I'm gonna do it for the good side as well. Denzel Washington, his wife. Denzel is the top of the top, actors. Even though he's up in age now, but in his prime, a lot of women wanted that dude. They wanted him real bad. He been married. Probably, I think he was married ever since he started, acting. And his wife never complained. She never got in her feelings about him getting a lot of attention. And you know, I think she handled it very, very well. And I think she did do an interview. I think it was either this year or last year, whatever. She did an interview, but she talked about she knew where he was coming. She knew he was coming home after, doing all he does, making movies and going on tour and to talk about different movies that he's playing in and the attention that he brings. She said she knew he was coming home and she knew that the type of guy that she had, that he didn't never disrespect her. He never, fall into those attentions because most men do. They do get those type of attention. They give in when they get a lot of female attention and they start cheating. But Denzel didn't never do that. So shout out to them. But overall, my question is to the viewers is, do people do get insecure? Now, one of my questions I probably answer for myself because I know women gonna say it. I think men that do date nines and tens, do they have a problem with it when they woman get more attention than them? I'm gonna answer say yes, because this is unbiased. I'm not gonna be biased on either side. Men do generally get more upset or get more in their feelings or get more insecure when they do be with a 9 or a 10. But when I say that, we gotta highlight that women do too. Women do get upset and get in their feelings when they do talk to a guy that's a 9 or a 10. I think social media don't bring that up, a lot. They always talk about the men's side. And I understand that and I agree. that men do get in their feelings more than women. But you do gotta highlight that women do get in their feelings when they date with a guy that gets more attention than they do. That I don't know, they can't handle it. So, but that's all I got on this video. Um, I think I think everybody should, be able to respect themselves and date whoever you want to date and go for whatever you gonna go for. But I think you need the insecure stuff. You shouldn't be with a person if you think that they might do something because you really can't control anybody on either side, male or female. You can't control anybody. So if they do go out to do something, they're just gonna do it. But I think you need to date somebody that you know stay in your lane. You go with what bits fits you. Go with somebody that loves you and loves you for you. You know. But like I said, that's all I got on this video. I will see you on another one.